Well, actually, I was getting ready to say clickbaity political thirst trap. This is not the thirst trap. This is you up. And I appreciate you all hanging out with me. Got a couple stories I want to go over. Give everyone time to come in the room. And we get to greet each other and get to speak to one another. My comment section is kind of dry. I got no comments yet. There they are. Renee. I'm so used to comments. There it is. Willow Cats. Thank you. Coco. Aaron. Facebook is lit already. Let me make sure, because like I said, we've been having a little trouble with Twitch, but Twitch is online. Yes. YouTube is online. Periscope is popping. Twitter always starts off popping, but you know, the attention span on Twitter is very short. So by the time the evening is over, we usually have like 10 people. Nothing important. Hey, what's up, man? Okay, let me see if I can find it. Thanks, man. All right. Just a production note right there. Hang on. Yeah, man, that's my computer. That's this brand new Mac that I have is noisy as hell. Anybody who specializes in Mac can tell me how to get that fan down a little bit lower. That'd be great. But that's literally my brand ass new Mac making all that noise. No, Ben didn't just get back from a party. Ben just somebody wanted to know if I just got back from a party. You know I'm not going anywhere. You guys know I'm not going anywhere in this pandemic. I just got through doing an interview with and for TYT. So that's where I was. So do me a favor, as we get ready to get started, click that share button, that like button if you're on YouTube. Get it spreading around as widely as possible, as quickly as possible. I'm going to start with a clip from Tucker Carlson. I will be looking for comments in... Oh, there it is. That's exactly what I'm looking for. There's an app that lets you fully control the fans. Yes. Well, I got to download that app because this brand new computer performs wonderfully. It's just noisy as hell. The only way to do that is to go buy a new fan. Really? Nebraska wants to know what's in the drink. It's just a little, I was going to say Moscato. I don't even think it's Moscato. I honestly don't even know. It was all that was left though. So it's gone. All right. So while everybody's clicking that like button, tomorrow, I'm excited to announce that we're going to be doing something different. Starting tomorrow night, we're going to do a open line segment where you can video conference in and ask me your question. Now, before any trolls try to take advantage of that, my producer is going to screen all the calls beforehand to make sure that 1, you're clothed, 2, you actually have a real question, and 3, that in case you do or say something crazy, we have some information on you so we could dox you live on air, right? So to all the trolls who would like to make this a painful experience, we have a barrier between you going live on air with me. But for those of you who want to just kind of join in and see your face on the video, as well as be able to ask a question about anything. Usually when I do these, it's like it's open mic. It's, I'd like for it to stay within the realm of the conversations that we're having, but I'm also flexible enough to talk about any subject. So we're going to start that tomorrow night and we will go from there. Let's get a couple of more comments on the screen before I jump off with Tucker Carlson. Somebody said Bryce needs to call. Now, Bryce is the original. Bryce is one of the original. He's been with me for 6 years. So yeah, definitely call in. But yeah, I mean, you have the option, obviously, of doing audio only, but we also have the option of doing video. We're going to start that tomorrow night. I tried to start it tonight, but my producer was like, Ben, we haven't tested this at all. Can we get it tonight? And I'm like, you just ruining, you just making things difficult for me, trying to do things proper and in order. Thanks for ruining my fun, David. Because I like to do things on the fly. Like, hey, this is a good idea. Let's do it. All right. I did not. Oh, epic rap battles versus Trump versus Biden. I haven't seen it. And as tempted as I am to play it, I know we would get flagged. So epic rap battles is something I've been following for years. I know it's going to be amazing. So check it out on YouTube, but not right now. Thank you, Cam Ben. You're the hardest working man on YouTube, etc. Keep up the good trouble. Thank you. I'm putting these hours in, and I've got no complaints. Let's see what else we have. We're just getting started. Rita wants to know what did she miss. Rita, you haven't missed anything. We are just getting started. So click that like button, click that share button, and I'm going to drop the first video. The first video is Tucker Carlson. It's a little long, but Tucker Carlson is the epitome of rich, white, male privilege. He's able to get away with mediocrity along the lines of Donald Trump that no woman could ever get away with. No person of color could ever get away with. And quite frankly, a poor white person couldn't even get away with what this dude gets away with. It's because Tucker Carlson was born in the lap of every privileged intersection on the face of the planet. Wealthy, white man, conservative white man. Watch this video where he's thinking he's attacking Hunter Biden, but it didn't go according to plan.
There's always a lot going on that we don't have time to get to on the air, but there's something specific going on behind the scenes right now that we did feel we should tell you. So on Monday of this week, we received from a source a collection of confidential documents related to the Biden family. We believe those documents are authentic, they're real, and they're damning. At the time we received them, my executive producer, Justin Wells, and I were in Los Angeles with Bob Alinsky about the Biden's business dealings in China, Ukraine, and other countries. So we texted a producer in New York and we asked him to send those documents to us in LA, and he did that. The afternoon of this week, he shipped those documents overnight to California with a large national carrier, a brand name company that we've used, you've used, count a single problem. Documents never arrived in Los Angeles.
Cool, dude.
Tuesday morning, we received word from the shipping company that our package had been opened and the documents had disappeared. Now, to its credit, the company took this very seriously and immediately began a search. They traced the envelope from the moment our producers dropped it off in Manhattan on Monday to 3:44 a.m. yesterday morning. At a sorting facility in another state, noticed that our package was open and empty.
Cool story, bro.
It had been open. So the company's security team, every one of its employees who touched the envelope we sent, they searched the plane and the trucks that carried it. They went through the office and dropped that package off. They clear cavernous sorting facility. They used pictures of what we had sent to know what to look for. They went beyond, but they found nothing. Those documents have, as of tonight, the company has no idea and no working theory even about what happened to this materials, documents that are directly relevant to the presidential campaign just 6 days from now. We spoke to executives at that company a few hours ago. They seemed baffled and deeply bothered, and so are we.
Cool story, bro. I don't believe it for a second. You mean to tell me that you have this critical information that could turn the tide of the election, that is damning information on the Biden family, and poof, it disappeared. Can I play the first couple of seconds again? Because everything that you need to know about this happens in the first couple of seconds of this clip. Listen.
There's always a lot going on that we don't have time to get to on the air, but there's something specific going on behind the scenes. I feel we should. On Monday of this week, we received from a source a collection of confidential documents related to the Biden family. We believe those documents are real and they're damning.
Boom. They received it on Monday. They believe the documents were authentic, real, and damning, which means they've reviewed the documents. Can somebody in the audience tell me what's wrong with his story? If they've already reviewed the documents, they believe that they're real and that they're damning, what rings out? I want, before I even get it, before I even say it, let's see if anybody can pick up on what's wrong with this. Let's see. Well, it is straight up trash. Kizzy from Twitch says it's straight up trash. Can I get that on the screen? There you go. It is poof like magic. But I just want to know if you guys are with me, if you all are with me. What jumps out? If they've already reviewed the documents, well, yes, K-Love, I agree. His story is BS. Snuggles, you're getting close. That's mighty good. There's no copy of it? That's a good question. Let's see what else. Everything is wrong with the story. Screenshots? No screens. There's no digital copy. It is the year of our Lord 2020. And there is absolutely never any instance that you are going to ship documents across the country and not have a digital. First of all, why do you need to ship them? We're not. What are you shipping it to the FBI so they can verify that the paper it's printed on was an authentic printer? What are we doing here? This is not 1945. This is 2020. So if they don't have a digital copy of this, but they already, it would be different if they said that we were receiving it and we have reason to believe that it could be damning, but we have not yet verified it. Therefore, we can't disclose it on air. No, that's not what he said. Listen to what this ass clown said.
There's always a lot going on that we don't have time to get to on the air, but there's something behind the scenes right now that we did feel we should tell you about. So on Monday of this week, we received from a source a collection of confidential documents related to the Biden family. We believe they're authentic, they're real, and they're damning. At the time we received them, my executive producer, Justin Wells, and I were in Los Angeles preparing Lewinsky about the Biden's business dealings in China countries. Producer in New York, and we asked him to send those documents to us in LA, and he did that. So Monday.
Tucker Carlson is the epitome of rich, conservative, white, male mediocrity. He's been able to get away with bullshit like this for years, thinking that his audience is, well, actually knowing that his audience is too dumb, or either they're too dumb or they're so committed to their lies that they can't see through his bullshit, or both. It's probably both. I'm sitting on, listen, I'm going to say something, and I don't want you to think that I'm not appreciative of what we got going on. I actually love what we got going on here. And because you guys are so diligent and so faithful in watching these videos that I put out, and you share them, like every single one of them, you share them, they get like 100,000, 200, 300,000 views. Hint, hint, keep doing that. I'm doing quite fine. But I got to say something. This man is on national television with this bullshit ass bullshit. Excuse my language, man. And ask my producer. The first time I saw that video was when I played it for you. And I had no idea that it was going to be that easy to pick up on the BS. And I guess, I'm allergic to BS. So, of course I'm going to pick up on the BS instantly. Like, you see through it instantly. But this guy has a nationally syndicated international broadcast with millions of viewers every night. And the best he can do is, my dog ate my homework. It got lost in the mail. Y'all, I'm laughing. Oh, that's right. Marcy said, stop apologizing. You got the preacher's permission to curse. You're right. Thank you for reminding me. We're laughing. But this is the absurdity of it all. This is where we've gotten. This is how far the idiocy has gotten. That excuse right there is enough to cover for the fact that they don't actually have a story. But it gives the air of suspicion. Oh, somebody stole the documents. Somebody knew what this unmarked package was. Because I'm quite sure that they're mailing. Can we go a little deeper? Can I just show you how if you're going to lie, you got to craft that lie. See, this is why I try not to lie. Emphasis on try. Because I'm a good liar. Not because it's not because I'm not a habitual liar. If anything, I'm a habitual truth teller. I tell you guys entirely too much. There may be two things in my life that I have not told my general audience. So I don't lie because I don't have to lie. I like to err on the side of telling the truth. I'd rather tell you too much truth. You guys know about how broke I've been. You know that I ain't necessarily been the best human. You know all my business. So I'm not going to say what I'm saying here to let you think that I'm a liar, because I'm not. I tell the truth. But if you're going to lie, for the love of God, get your lie together. This is what I'm talking about. You mean to tell me you expect us, Tucker Carlson, to believe that you mailed something in the mail in the first place, besides sending a digital copy, besides just emailing it, right? Besides making a backup of something so critical. You didn't make a backup, nor did you make a digital copy, and you mailed it across the country, and you could have took a screenshot on your damn phone and sent it. That's part one of the lie. Part two of the lie that you need us to believe is that somebody could look at your package and automatically ascertain based on the addresses that there's some critical information in this. Because obviously, somebody do a graphic of this. Will somebody do an envelope where it says super secret important addressed to Tucker Carlson, Fox News? Because for somebody to know that this is worthwhile opening up and stealing, on the cover, it's got to say addressed to Fox News, Tucker Carlson, super secret, super important. Ooh. Do you see what I'm saying? Right. I like what Pam said. Pam said they addressed it to care of Hunter Biden bombshell. Tucker, you are a fucking moron. Your audience are they're so stupid. You are just so dumb. I feel like Antoine Dobson. You are so dumb. Hide your wife, hide your kids. They stealing everybody's mail out here. Deuce said, oh, people still use the mail system. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. But they also are suspicious enough to not put contents inside or damning about the 2020 election and could take down Hunter Biden. So pay this no attention. This is not suspicious at all. Wait, somebody said they thought I had a peacock for a second. Hang on, put that on the screen. What behind me makes me look like I have, oh, is it the flowers over here? Or is it, oh no, it's the seat. And when I lean this way, yeah, when I lean this way, you can see the seat. They are so dumb. For your eyes only. There it is. That's what they put on there. For your eyes only. I would rather tell you all, look, I thought I had a story, but it wasn't. My bad. I hyped it up. See, this is what happens when you take yourself so seriously and you buy into your own bullshit that you got to do that extra. This is why I don't have to. The reason I don't have to lie, even though I could, because I think. The only reason I'm a good liar is because I actually think things through. But the reason I don't have to lie is because I don't take myself that seriously. Nothing that I'm doing is that important that I'm going to have to, that I can't just break down and say, look, folks, I promised you a bombshell. It turns out that shit wasn't that much of a bombshell. It was a dud. So let's have some drinks and let's move on to the next story. Simple as that. Oh, my goodness. To everyone on the super chats, I just let you know I am going to read your super chats all at the same time. That's the easiest way for me not to miss any. My producers are helping with that. Matter of fact, that reminds me, I need to open up my producers chat before I get lectured. And they say, open the goddamn there. You need to read the goddamn super chat. Oh, weird. YouTube is getting... Why? Oh, it's when we play the clips. I don't know what the hell YouTube is doing when we play clips, but it's a good enough experience for everyone else. Let me, and he just sent me a note telling me that I need to put my lower third on. So let me do that. Let me, I got to find it first. Anyway, you guys leave some more comments about how dumb these people are. These people are so dumb, y'all. Like, it is. And the reason they believe it is because they need, it's not just they want to believe it. Here it is. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that sexy lower third. Vote.org. Got to do your civil duty first. Then follow me. That's kind of me being like, you know, it's an order of importance, even though obviously you guys know I want you to become a patron, right? See, this is why I got to lie, because I'm not going, I don't care. I have no shame. Of course, I want you to become a patron, patreon.com, but I put it third so that you don't think I'm so pretentious enough to put it first. Like, the most important thing isn't you becoming a patron, but of course I want you to become a patron. Just tell the guy, just tell the truth is better anyway. The truth is funnier. The truth will set you free. I put vote.org down there first so I wouldn't look so damn pretentious. No, the bombshell story that I had turned out to be nothing, Tucker Carlson. So I'm not going to make up a lie about it traveling from New York to California, because as we all know, the only way you can get a document from point A to point B is through the postal service or through FedEx. All right, let me stop. I'm getting out of pocket. Oh, there it is. Marcy says she figured it out and subscribed with Prime, but she's here. Thank you. You don't even have to become a patron. Just go to twitch.tv/Benjamin P. Dixon and snatch $5 away from Jeff Bezos, Lex Luthor, and it comes over here to me. So you don't even have to become a patron. All right, let's go with another clip. Can y'all see how ridiculous this is? Somebody said Larry had a good point. Let me scroll up to see what Larry said. Betty, I did. And I heard that Betty wants to know, did I hear disgusting Trumpists threaten Leslie Stahl? I did. And I also heard that she had to get security. And wait a minute. Okay. Okay. Marcus Farrell. Cut your camera on. I'm going to call you. I would give me 2 seconds to finish laughing, and I'm going to tell you why that comment is funny as hell. Man, I don't know what you're doing. You might be busy. You might be dressed. You might not be dressed. So don't worry about your camera. So I am lying about one thing. And I guess I might as well tell you guys, since my homeboy called me out. Not today, though. I'll tell you another time. Let me cut this shit off. There's a time and a place for everything, damn it. All right. Okay. Whew. Shout out to Marcus. They said, Marcus, you were on fire today. Hang on, Corey Foster on YouTube said that you were on fire today. And for sure, you most certainly was. All right, let's go to the next most ridiculous thing. I'm so glad we started the thing off with that because, man, look here. Let's go with something else ridiculous. Let's do Kim Kardashian.
We're just anxiously awaiting the results for Khloe to see if she has it or not. I mean, my gut tells me she does just because she's so...
That's enough of that. That's enough of that because E will shut the entire stream down. I thought it was like a news report. Hey, yeah, hit the like button so we can get some more viewers. The thing I want to talk about with Kim Kardashian is the fact that celebrities and rich people live an entirely different life than average people. This is Kim Kardashian at her 40th birthday party. Now, normally, 9 times out of 10, you will never, ever, ever, ever get me discussing or covering a celebrity. But the reason I am putting her up on the screen, let's see if this works. The reason I'm putting her up on the screen is because this is during COVID-19. And they had their own private testing and they had their entire quarantining process. I'm not going to knock them for the strategy because she wanted to give everybody a sensation of normalcy for her 40th birthday party. So I'm not knocking her for strategy. I think strategically, I would try to pull something off myself like that. Where, listen, if I can get a hold of, low key, if I can get a hold of 100 instant tests, I would do a party and everybody get tested before they come in. And you know when you come in, you're still going to wear a mask though, right? Because just how I am. But here's the thing. You know there are people who still can't get a test. You know people who certainly can't get an instant test. And you know there are people who, even though they get tested, they still have to go out into the normalcy of day-to-day life in the abnormal reality of COVID-19 because of their normal responsibilities. For example, essential workers. And so while the rest of the world is burning around us, I'm not going to say that she's wrong for pulling this off. Because I would pull it off myself. But at some point, you got to have the wisdom to know that you just don't share everything because of how disparate people's experiences are. But such is the nature of celebrity in this country and wealth in this country. It's not really enjoyable to them unless they can flaunt it, unless they can show, hey, look at what I can do that you can't do. Now, if I did it, I don't know that I don't think that I would actually share it because I don't want people to be in my business. That's the number one thing. That's the biggest thing between me and a celebrity is I don't generally want people in my business, like, you know, like the fact that this cup is empty and I'm still trying to get something out of it. But two, just pause, right? I think we may, like, I don't want to think so haughty or think that I'm so noble, but I do think that I would pause, look at my wife and say, babe, do you think this is something we should post online? Because it might send the wrong signal out. And I would have paused. But celebrity in the United States of America does not afford you the opportunity to actually do something like that. Because the entire point of celebrity is to expose and flaunt your lifestyle before everybody else. So a lot of people are upset about her doing it. I don't know that it would be something that I wouldn't do if I had the ability to do it, because I have not been in the same room with anyone other than my family for the last 8 months. Okay, so it's a very good possibility that if I had access to the test, I would test everybody at the door. Here's what's got to be weird. Here's what's got to be uncomfortable. Somebody who tests positive, like, bruh, like, I don't know that I wouldn't body slam them. Like, you come out in my house and you test them positive for COVID-19. Like, I already feel some kind of way when people are out in public not wearing masks. You know, I always feel some kind of way when people are in public not wearing masks. So if you come up to my front door and you got the COVID, you got the corona, and see, then look at how twisted this is. Because you know what? She thought about that too. So you know she absolutely had somebody do the testing for her, probably in a hazmat suit. So she put somebody else's life at risk in order to have this party. It's just so many layers of inconsiderate, you know, how do I say that? Of being inconsiderate that just rocks all the way through from top to bottom. So, I mean, I get it. I get it. I have been locked in this house with my kids and my wife for 9 months. It's felt like what's it been 2 years already. 2 years. So I get it. I get it. But they put lots of somebody's lives. Hang on, this is the one I want to put right here. Lots of somebody's lives at risk for this, and that's part of the individualism culture, right? I'm seriously joking about like being locked up with my wife and them. I'm telling you, honestly, this has been the best thing in the world for me. I just want to set the record straight. Like, low key, this has been the best thing for me in the sense of it reversed everything that I was doing wrong before. So I'm totally joking when I say I've been locked out. I've enjoyed so much time with my kids that I just didn't have before, right? And it's been so meaningful and healthy. It's been healthy, physically and emotionally and spiritually and financially. And I even hate talking about it in that regards because it's come at such a high cost. Actually, strike that. Me and you and us who've been locked down, we're not the cause of the people who died. It's just really, really difficult to think of this period as a positive because of how many people who died. But I'm going to play a clip later on and you'll see exactly who the hell is to blame for who died. But still, it really makes it difficult for me to say that this has been a positive time. But I can't negate the fact. I'm going to get back to the celebrity culture in a minute. And I'm actually going to get back to the individualism comment in a second. I can't negate the reality that unplugging from the constant going and the constant spending and the constant, distance from my family versus social distance from the rest of them and spending that time. I can't deny that has been one of the biggest changes in my life. And my number one goal for the rest of this pandemic, I'm on a long tangent, but I know where I'm going with the comment. My number one goal for this pandemic. Hey, babe. Jada. Okay, the kids are asleep. I didn't even tell my kids that Chadwick Boseman died. I didn't tell them because they don't know who Chadwick Boseman is. They know who Black Panther is. And I thought about that thing and I'm like, Black Panther didn't die. Chadwick Boseman did. So I didn't even tell them that because I don't want, as much as I can possibly avoid it, I do not want this period that is most certainly a dark period in American history to be dark on my street, in my house, if I can avoid it. I want them to look back at this time and I want them to say this. Historically, it was a tragic time, but in Ben Dixon's household, in such and such city, in such and such state, in my daddy and my mama's household, we have nothing but good memories of an otherwise horrible time in our country's history. That's what I'm trying to do as a father. I could not do that before this because I was so caught up in working outside of the home. I was so caught up in trying to, do it. And then the way I chilled, I had bad habits chilling. I chilled at the bar. I chilled, I chilled at the clubs. You let your hair down, such as it is, because you work hard, you play hard. It just was not. And so the best thing for me has been to unplug from this system that I told you I'm going somewhere with it. I'm always going somewhere. I might take the long way around, but I'm always going somewhere. Unplug from a system that constantly drains you and pulls on you and demands more from you, demands more of your time, demands more of your money, demands more of your integrity. It leaves you with nothing. And this is the system that is driven by our greed and our individualism. This is the same system that the celebrity culture thrives on. They could not make the sacrifice of toughing it out like the rest of us who are toughing it out, staying our asses at home for all the different reasons. One, to not only keep other people safe, but to keep us safe, to keep my children safe, to keep me safe. But also in keeping me safe, I'm keeping others safe. And that's the lack of community. That's the lack of collectivism that we're sorely lacking in this country. Nobody, strike that. I can't say it categorically because you're thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. But far too many people refuse to consider someone else before themselves. And I don't know, maybe that sentiment is heightened for me now because of COVID-19, because this entire last 7-8 months has been about individually protecting my family but doing it for a collective good. Maybe that's why I'm like hypersensitive to when I see people who have the opportunity. See, it'll be different. If you're an essential worker, you don't have that luxury. You don't have that privilege. This is the one, I don't know. This is the one time that I have a privilege that I can exercise to the benefit of somebody else. And you've got a whole lot of people in this country who all they had to do because they have the privilege to do it was stay their asses home. But it became too much of a burden for them and they just had to go out. And not only go out, but now they had to create an event for all these people to come at and then put the lives of the essential workers who service them at risk. I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense to me. Let's see what everybody's talking about. Malika says she's at work right now. Let's see what everybody else is talking about. Okay. America equals me greater than we. Hell, seems like a lot of people don't even consider others after themselves. Look at that. And yes, Sharon, that's the thing. That's the thing. If we don't change that, we're going to destroy ourselves. Here's why here's the number one way I lie. I don't tell the entire story. I always tell you enough to make it a really good story, but I leave out some critical details for you to fill in for yourself, for you to make an assumption about, so that you can have a healthy assumption about who I am or who I'm not. So that if I ever get caught up, you can always say, yeah, I kind of pretty much suspected he was that guy, right? But I'm never going to outright just tell you. Similar to the way my pre-COVID existence was just a beeline to early death. Because I would work, I would get up and go to work. I'm 39 years old doing this, folks. I'm 5'7". I was 260 pounds. As Marcus said when he first saw me, he said I looked like a swollen potato. I concur. So I'm too short, I'm too fat, I'm too old to be living the lifestyle of waking up at 6 a.m, legitimately working about 12 hours. When the 12-hour day was done, I go slide up to a bar and get some dinner and get some drinks. And that's done, I might slide over to play some poker. And when that's done, I might slide over to a club, depending on what day of the week it is, depends on the type of club I went to. Then I would slide home and try to be a dad real quick, but the kids were already asleep. So but it was all triggered by the fact that I'm just out here trying to make this money. Wasn't making the kind of money that I needed. Clearly, I've told you that story. Because as I was making it, it was going out the window. Wasn't being a good enough father, even though I give them really great advice, right? It was the fact that I'm just gone all day long. It was just at every point, I was trapped in a vicious cycle that was going to inevitably destroy me through my health, through my funds, through my kids growing up. And, maybe I made a good life for them, but then they just don't really know me because I wasn't there, through everything else. I'm such an idiot. Here's the point. The reason we have to change this, and the reason why we need to seize upon what happened with COVID-19, is to turn your life around, turn American society around, turn humanity around, quite much like COVID-19 turned this thing around for me. Because I instantly went from being out of my household, still think I'm a good dad, still good. My kids probably don't have a lot bad to say about me because they were young enough, right? See, I tell you the truth. The lights may have got cut off every now and then, but at the end of the day, I would hustle That's why I was out all the time. I was always out trying to hustle up and make sure the bills were paid. And it took hours sometimes to make a couple dollars to make sure the shit was paid. But it still was tearing me apart. It was tearing my family apart. And it wasn't until COVID-19 showed me a better way, right? COVID-19 told me and gave me permission to not give a shit about what America says we need to do and be, but instead to 100% turn on a dime and overnight say, well, that's it. Not going out to work like I used to. Got to find a new way to make money. Definitely not going to no dirty ass bar, because that's the number one thing it's going to transmit. So the money that I make and I have left over, I'm not going to waste there. I love playing poker, but that's it. I love going out to clubs and we'll party, you know, get the fellas and we party until whatever. All that is instantly over. And it showed me the value of just unplugging from this American system that constantly pushes us and drains us. It compels us to give, not in a good way, but give of our sleep. Now, I've spent the last 5 minutes talking about me, but I want you to think about you and how many of you have given up sleep for a system that doesn't give a damn about you. Getting 3 hours of sleep at night, 5 hours of sleep at night, if you're lucky. How many of you have given up your health for a system that does not give a damn about you? Eating through the drive-thru, right? Working out, what's that? Going for a run, what's that? Getting enough rest, what's that? How many of you have sacrificed your families? Let me put this back on the screen. How many of you have sacrificed the relationship that you have with your children simply because you did not have enough time, and the only time that you had, you were so exhausted and so frustrated that you felt like you just needed to just take it for yourself? Sacrificing your health, your finances, your family. And for what? For a system that does not give a damn about us. Let's change that. This is not a moral. I'm not lecturing anyone about morality. I'm the last person that could lecture you about morality. As much as I love Jesus, I'm still one of the last people to lecture you about morality. This is about preservation of the individual for the collective good. Because look at what they have us doing. They have us out here thinking that we're serving our individual desire. But what we're doing is serving their individual bottom line. Everything that they have us, the things that we feel like we can't separate from, are the things that drain us. You can't separate from that party, from that club, from popping the bottles in the VIP section. I've popped plenty of bottles with plenty of models in plenty of VIP sections and got the tab at the end of the night. Now, this was before I got married. This is before I got married. I do need to make that distinction. I'm talking about when I was living in South Florida with my homeboys, right? And we get the tab at the end of the night and be like, yo, how we gonna pay this $1,250 worth of liquor? And we split it 3 ways, all right? So, but I'm an idiot. What I'm trying to tell you, it was very simple. The things that this system pushes us to desire and want are literally the things that would destroy us individually. And it makes us individualists and selfish. And so it inevitably destroys us collectively. So just like COVID-19 kind of was a jolt to my daily schedule, that all of a sudden I have had more time with my kids and I'm loving every second of it. I had Disney dad potential before COVID-19, all right? I had it in my heart. I just didn't have the time to do it and be it. I'm not even going to front with you. I was not a Disney dad before COVID-19. This is all new, right? And I love every second of it. And I wouldn't change it for the world. And I am grateful for this time to be separated and unplugged from a system that didn't give a damn about me in the first place. And that's how we can change this thing. We change this on the individual level. I hope y'all are hearing me. I know I'm saying a whole lot of stuff, and I'm wrapping it in a lot of self-deprecation and a lot of innuendo and a lot of silliness. But I hope that you really, really genuinely hear me. What I'm saying is that this system drives us to be selfish. But the ways in which it drives us to be selfish are never beneficial for us as an individual. It's quite destructive. And I'm not trying to lecture. I'm not trying to tell you to not go out to the club. Because as soon as this is over, I'm going to have us get together and have a party at somebody's big venue. And it's going to be like a club. What I'm telling you is, it is the drive that they prioritize in their programming of our minds. What they put in our minds to be the most important thing has always been the thing that will extract as much wealth from us, as much time from us, and ultimately the most health and integrity and virtue and everything good. It just drains us. It drains us financially, and it drains us in our health. And if we were to go one step higher in the analysis and come down from our individual analysis and talk about us collectively as a community, we have a collection of 337 million people who have all been trained and programmed to respond the same way, to want for ourselves. But the very things that we want are the things that will destroy us. Have you ever thought about why? Why is it the things that we want most are the things that would destroy us? I don't care what your moral system is. I don't care what your belief system is. I don't care if you have no belief. What I do know is that the things that we want the most always are the most expensive goddamn addictions that we have. What I do know, the things that we want most are the things that take away all of our time, and we don't even have time to take care of ourselves. I don't care what your moral code is. What I do know is that we live in a system that will drain your last dime, your last minute of time, and will leave you broken, destitute, sickly, in debt, and dead, while they are sitting back on a beach somewhere meditating as their capital gains pays all their bills. I hope y'all hear what I'm saying. I know I said a lot, but I hope that you heard what I'm talking about. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that. Wine in the glass bin is coming out. I want to be honest with you. This is all it is, full transparency. It just gives me a quicker bypass. This is where I am. If you notice, this is where I am at the end of every night. And I usually kind of finagle the situation and entice you guys with the politics first. And I give you the politics and I bait and switch and I end up talking about these things. But the one in the glass bin says, you know what, bump all that. Bump all that. You know, you could go to any number of programs and streams and talk about politics, right? But whenever I do find a good place to jump off into the deeper meanings of how this system manipulates us and how we have, most importantly, what that sister said, can I find it? I wonder if I can find it. Not just how the system manipulates us, but how this system has to change. Specifically, what we have to change. Specifically, what we have to change is to bring a full force challenge to the individualistic, celebrity-driven greed culture that is at the core of this country. Because if we don't do that, we certainly are not going to survive. And I think the fundamental question everyone really has at the core of them is, how do I survive this life? How do I survive this economy, this capitalistic system, this life? And then once you get past how do I survive, it's how do I thrive? Well, all I could tell you is from my experiences is that you cannot thrive until you first survive. And I could not survive just giving everything to the system, giving them all of my time, giving them all of my goddamn money, giving them, all of my health. I hate to be cliche, but you got to unplug from this system. And I don't think that there's been anything in our lifetime. No. I keep saying I don't think. I know that there has not been anything in our lifetime that has been a wake-up call for everybody on the face of the planet like COVID-19, which literally is telling us, it literally is saying to us, if you will sit your ass at home, you'll be all right. And what has America taught us? Why the hell are you sitting at home? There's a football game to go to. There's a meeting you need to be at. There's a restaurant you need to visit. There's a club you need to be at. America has trained us to do everything except for what is needed in this moment. All right, I'm done. It was absolutely, Robert, it was a life reset. It was a life reset. And K-Love, thank you. Now, I hate to be, I don't know if I'm going to get up and go get this wine or if I'm going to beg my wife to bring me some more wine. K-Love, they are afraid people will realize their power. Because here's the opposite side of this. All right. And I try to be careful. I try to be careful not to be not to give you a lecture in the sense of I'm trying to preach morality to you, because I already speak in the language and the intonation of a preacher. I'm not trying to preach morality to you. If you're interested in morality based on somebody's religious beliefs, then I'll refer you to my pastor, who's super dope, and anybody, I have no problem sending you there. That's not what I'm trying to do here. What I'm trying to do is to help you understand, and I got to put this right back on the screen because I don't want you to lose focus or me to lose focus, what K-Love said. They are afraid people will realize their power. Now, if every individual in their own isolated pocket, I'm just going to say it, and I hope you realize the impact and the power of what I'm saying. If everyone in their own individual way, the best way I could tell you was with my story. That's all I got is my story. And I tell it to you 12 different times, 12 different ways, but it's always the same core message. We went from poverty as a married couple to paycheck as a married couple to we got rid of Michael Bloomberg. Oh, wow, we can breathe. Don't have a lot of room, but we could breathe. We have like $300 left over at the end of the month, which is a huge achievement. And then COVID-19 hit. And what happened? I want to show you the power that you have. The same amount of money that I was making before COVID-19 versus 1 week after we started quarantining. All of a sudden, I wasn't spending $300 a month in gas. All of a sudden, I wasn't spending whatever obscene amount we were spending a month eating out because nobody had time to cook. All of a sudden, I wasn't injecting all of those preservatives in my body on every meal basis. All of a sudden, I was unplugged and we just had all of us. I'm like, holy shit, you mean to tell me just leaving my house every single day commanded about 30-40% of my income, that if I stayed in my house, I was able to keep all of this money? Now that's before I made a single video go viral. That's before the street, that's before any of this. Before I made anything go viral, just the sheer fact that I was staying my black ass at home. We all of a sudden we're not living paycheck to paycheck anymore. So at the risk of you thinking I'm trying to lecture you about morality, I'm certainly not, right? Get your booty to the polls. I just said 100 different things with that one sentence. I'm not trying to lecture you about morality. What I'm trying to tell you is that there is power in refusing to participate in this system at the level that they demand. Okay? Your ability to simply not participate in this system gives you a level of freedom and autonomy that they hate. They would rather see you continue like everything is normal. Go to work. Go to the restaurants. Go to the gyms. Go to all these places that could not only kill you with COVID-19, but will continue to drain that amount of money from you on a monthly basis. Just the mere fact of being able to say, hey, I'm not driving 300 or 400 miles a week. Therefore, I don't have to spend $300 or $400 in gas every month. And now that money is sitting in my bank account. And that gave me that much more freedom from a system that wants to drain the life out of me. This is not a lecture on morality. This is a lecture on getting free from a system that exploits you. Right? Low key, this is the most socialist message that I'm ever giving you. This is a class-based analysis. This is how you break free from what's my man's name who did the study on the entertainment. It's going to come to me. But basically, his argument about the dilemma that we're in is, how do you break free from a system that we are all inextricably tied to? It's like we're chained to this capitalistic system that constantly exploits us, and we can't break free because we have to participate in it to survive. COVID-19 came along and said, that's not necessarily true. What's true is that there's a level for pause, caveat. Essential workers have a totally different experience in this moment than any of us. And so everything that I'm saying is based on the luxury and the privilege of being able to stay your ass at home, which unfortunately creates two classes in this system: the essential worker and the privileged worker. The privileged worker, like me and like a lot of you, who could stay at home. But in this rare instance, we have the ability to exercise our privilege to the benefit of the essential worker. Because if you stay your privileged ass at home, you're less likely to spread the infection and kill essential workers. So can we not exercise our privilege for the common good? Okay? So everything I said for the last hour is based on the fact of whether or not you can stay at home. That said, COVID-19 gives us a model, because there is a level of participation that they get from us that's over and beyond the essential. It's not just the fact that you go out to work that benefits this system. It's the fact that you burn gas to get to work, that you didn't have enough time to cook breakfast, so you picked up breakfast along the way for $5.99, right? And then it's the fact that you got hungry in the middle of the day and you went down to the snack bar and you dropped about $3 on the vending machine because they keep increasing the prices on the vending machine. And then it's the fact that you did all the labor there. You did all your consumption online when you were supposed to be working. You did all that. And then you drove home and burned more gas. And oh, by the way, you didn't have time to cook for your kids. So you picked up about $40 worth of food to feed your family. It is all of those points along the way that COVID-19 revealed to those of us who have the privilege of staying home. Holy shit, there's a whole percentage of my income and my livelihood that I don't have to give to these bastards. That quite frankly, I don't know that I ever want to give to them again, because it was only the result of me being tied to a system that never gave a damn about me in the first place. Listen, I don't know how many of y'all are listening to me tonight, but I'm preaching tonight. I'm telling you the damn truth. I've used examples of my life, and I've probably gone on about my life maybe a little too long. But the fact of the matter is that this is applicable to every single person that's listening to me. If you have the privilege of staying home, then you also have the opportunity to break free from a system that has been exploiting you this entire time. Maybe you can't increase your profit and your revenue at home like other people can. But you also have the ability to say, hey, here's an entire 200, 300, 400. This before I made an extra dime. We had a level of liberty because we were not tied and chained and shackled to a system that don't give a damn about you. Why would we keep giving why would we keep giving them all of our hours of sleep? I mean, I'm giving it to y'all asses now. I should be asleep right now, but it's worthwhile. I mean, shit, to get this message out, fine, right? But why would I give it to just go work a job that don't give a damn about me? And then for the sake of me having peace of mind, I sit and talk with the bartender for 2 hours. I'm here talking to you now. But we give this system all of our time. And by giving them all of our time and our participation, we're giving them our money. And the power, I took a long time to say one point. Apparently you like it because we still got 1,200 people here. But the power they are afraid of us realizing is that if one person can withhold $300 a month merely by refusing to go and participate at the same capacity that they demand from us, then what the hell happens when 100 million people in the working class say, you know what? I refuse to participate in your system I'm telling y'all, listen, read between the lines. I am not the person who's going to say, hey, we need to organize a general strike, right? That's not my style. My style is to show you and paint you a picture of why 100 million people realizing the power that COVID-19 has given us, in the sense that it has demanded that we restrict a level of our participation to the extent that we're not out there just giving them all of our money and then poof, whoa, wait a minute. You mean I can withhold from this system $300 a month just by sitting my black ass home? And oh, by the way, by sitting at home, I'm actually spending more time with my wife. I'm actually spending more time with my children. I'm actually spending more time cooking food versus buying food at the drive-thru. I'm actually able to, oh, hell, I can actually do this workout thing. I can actually go. There is so much power in our participation. But there's even more power in our refusal to participate. I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit. Shout out to anybody. I'm just painting a picture, y'all. I'm just painting a picture. This very simplified message is there's not only organizing power, revolutionary power in your refusal to give this system that don't give a shit about you anyway, refuse to give them everything. There's not only revolutionary power in 300 million people who are all literally the workers of this country doing that, because if we all did that, we bring them to their knees. We bring this system to its knees. But oh, by the way, you'll actually have more time to love your wife, to love your husband, to take care of your children, to take care of your health. Because all we do all goddamn day long is give to a system that is more than happy to see us drop dead at 39 because they got the best they could get out of us by that time. Wagner. Let's knock it all down. Let's knock it all down. I just hope that you all see that. The place that we're going in the future is where the people have the power. And the first way that the people, this COVID-19, first and foremost, did not have to be as bad as it is. The literal damn reason 227,000 people are dead is because they did not want you to realize the power that you have. They could not tolerate 100 million workers staying at home and realizing that the only reason we're living paycheck to paycheck is because we're giving the system 125% when we should only be giving it, damn it, 60%. Keep your money. We may have to participate in a capitalistic system, but God damn it, we ain't got to give them every dime. Refuse to buy some stuff. Just refuse. Refuse to eat out at these restaurants. Except for on occasions. I'm not saying to, become a hermit, but just pick your spots, man. Pick your spots. Don't give them everything and then they give you nothing. And oh, by the way, you might lose 60 pounds like I did. You might, I don't know. Your marriage might get better like ours did. You might actually realize that being a father isn't about how much you provide for them, isn't about how much you tell them that you love them, isn't about how strong of a hug you give them and how much of a good lesson you can teach them. It's literally about spending time with them that this system will rob from you. In a weird way, what I'm saying sounds selfish, sounds individualistic, right? Because I'm telling you, look out for you. But here's the difference. I'm saying, look out for your best interest, not the interest that they give you. I'm going to read every single super chat that has come through. Producers, hold tight. I'm going to read it. I just have to say this. And the best way I can give you this is based on a Bible verse that I've always been fascinated with. Okay, hang on. Let me say this. Robert said divorce is higher now than any time before. Hey, some of these people shouldn't have been married in the first place, okay? Let's just come on. Right? Some people did not use this time to try to improve because they just had too many other places, right? It's not. What I can tell you though is that if I don't know anybody else's, I don't know not nobody else's household except for mine. But what I can tell you is that if my marriage, which has had, I ain't gonna tell you everything, but thankfully, we were too poor to get a divorce. We laughed about that shit today. Me and my wife looked at each other and said, you know what? Look at God. He ain't let us make no real money until we got our shit together. Cause honestly, like real talk, if I was making enough money back in the day when me and my wife were not doing good, if I was making enough money to make sure that she was set up properly and the kids had everything they had and they needed and they were good to go and oh here by the and then I had enough money to go and do my thing and be myself, we probably wouldn't have made it. And thankfully, we were broke enough to just sit our asses down and just wait until we figured it out. And we figured that shit out. That's America. Here's the thing that was driving it. I can't, I'm not going to put her business out there. That's for her to tell you whenever I bring her on the show with me. But my problem was that I wanted what the world was telling me to want, what capitalism was telling me to want, what society was telling me to want. Okay? And if this is not a marriage counseling show at all, but that comment was important in context of what I'm saying. Like if you unplug from this system, if you unplug from the greed of the system, if you unplug from the individual, America trains you like Pavlov's dog to always think that what you want is what's best for you. I got to unpack this. And I have to unpack it by asking you this question. Do you even know why you want what you want? Please don't answer too quickly. Took me years to actually unpack this and think about this. I had to ask myself, why the hell do I want that? Why do I want it that way? Little Bubba, come here. Come on. He's sleepwalking. Come here, man. His hairline is finally growing in. He's finally getting, he got this George Jefferson thing. His hairline is growing in right here. He's sleepwalking. You going there with mommy? Okay, go to mommy. Go. Why do I want what I want? Why do I want it this way? No. For real. I just had to pause and say, why do I like this one thing? Why do I like it? And it took me years to trace it back. I was insistent on why do I like this one particular thing? I'm not going to tell you that thing because it's none of your business. You got your thing. Why do I want this thing this way? And I was able to finally trace it all the way back to when I was 8 years old and I saw a movie poster. I saw a movie poster at 8 years old that put inside of my mind something that I wanted. And I never stopped wanting it after that, all the way to my grown ass adult stage. So when I ask you that question, you could pick any one thing, pick anything. You will be surprised that all of the things that you think make you unique, all the things that you think make you different, that drive you, that push you, that drive your desires, you didn't come up with in the first place. Somebody's advertisement gave it to you when you were 12 years old. And we have been living lives in this country that have been completely driven by the idea that we're satisfying our desires, when in reality, man, we're satisfying the desire of some ad agency that caught us when we were young. I don't forget I am not talking about morality at all. I'm talking about the fact that you think that you've been an individual all your life when you have been the sum total of advertisements influencing your taste and your likes and your desires and your wants and what you think you need. And it's because of that people ferociously chase after what they think is their desire. But if we actually trace that shit back, it was the desire of some ad man. How much time I got? Some of you got it figured out. Some of you aren't, but all I could do is use me. I was in probably year one. Damn it, I don't know if I want to tell this one. How can I finagle this one not to put all my business out here? All right, so anyway, in South Florida, I don't know what I'm gonna end up telling y'all, but whatever. I gotta make the point. The point is more important than what you know about me. I was living in South Florida, and I don't know if anybody was living in South Florida around 2009. South Florida, Fort Lauderdale, particularly Fort Lauderdale, going down to Miami, I-95, southbound. And I'm driving, minding my business in my blue Audi. My president was black, my Audi was blue. That's what I was singing because Obama had just been elected. And I'm driving, don't tell nobody, I was doing 120 miles an hour on the highway. It was early in the morning, wasn't nobody out. I'm driving and I looked up and there was this brand new billboard. And it was this party girl getting out of the new Cadillac. And she had on this blue dress. And of course, you know, she was a perfect model. And dude, bruh, they had her getting out the car. And you know how when your watch blings and it's just, you know, blings. Let's just say the bling was not on her watch. She was blinging getting out of the car, stepping out of the car. But the bling. And when I tell you that advertisement was so effective, I was too poor to buy a Cadillac, but I wasn't poor enough to not roll up into one of the clubs in Miami and be like, hey, you think you want what you want because you just think you want it. The reality is what you want has been programmed into you since you were a little jit. Since you were a child. And the things that you have been programmed to want are literally the things that, number one, are going to drain. It's not about destroy. It's not like they're just evil people who want to kill you. They're just evil people who don't care if you die. What they want is to drain all of your money from you. So Cadillac didn't get my money because I didn't have enough money to get my Cadillac, but Tootsie's got all my money. Let's keep it 100. And I had to dissect that thing. I'm like, well, holy shit, what is going? How many of us think you got people who are? Can I bring it to COVID-19? You have people who are violently trying to maintain an existence that they had before COVID-19, when that existence that they had before COVID-19 was destroying them in the first place. And oh, by the way, they think that they're violently protecting it because it's something that I just gotta have. This is me. This is who I am as an individual. This is my individual right. This is what I've always loved to do. This is what I do every single Friday at this time. And I'm protecting my individual freedom. In reality, bro, you ain't doing nothing but giving the same advertiser that caught your eye when you were 8 years old, giving them your money over and over. And so you're dying in COVID-19 for something that you don't even want. You've been programmed to want. So when we talk about the guy who mentioned that divorces are up, bro, divorces are up because we all are individualistic automatons chasing after trying to fulfill some desires that were given to us when we were jits. Do you even know why you want what you want? The type of food that you like, the type of places that you like to go, your idiosyncrasies, what makes you tick. I know some of you got it figured out. Some of you been to counseling enough and been to mental health counselors and therapists enough to actually understand that. And good on you. I'm not mocking that at all, but it just really takes time. It takes time and self-reflection for you to figure those things. And once you figure those things out, you start to realize, I honest to God don't need these things. That's been the most liberating thing. I'm about to call it a night, right? I'm calling it a night because I've been on this one thing since I've been on all of this because of what her name, Kim Kardashian. But I think Kim Kardashian is probably the epitome of a society that's driven by individualism. But the trick, the gag, the punchline, the plot twist is that you're not even serving your own genuine desires, your own individual desires that came from the core of you. Not most of us. I don't know. Maybe all of y'all are woke. Maybe all of y'all are so liberated and so sentient, sapient, and conscious that you never have been dealing with desires that you think really make you you. Why do you think it is that kids always at a certain age, they think that they are, I'm an individual. Kids are always like, I just want to be myself. And all they're doing is copying like 800 other kids in their immediate vicinity. Dude, you're not being yourself. You're being what someone put in front of you to be. And oh, by the way, it's going to cost you $49.99 for the shirt. It's going to cost you $79.99 for the pants. It's going to cost you $129 for the shoes. And yeah, well, you're going to have to get a tattoo. That's going to cost you X, Y, Z. The makeup is going to cost you X, Y, and Z, right? And if you really are in a certain echelon, then those shoes are going to cost you $500. And oh, yeah, you got to get this particular type of phone. They have a lot. I'm not laughing. I think I'm actually crying because they have programmed us to fight so violently on behalf of lifestyles that were not ours originally in the first place. All right. Let me read all of the super chats, because I know I've missed. Oh, no, super chats are somewhere else. They're not on my phone anymore. There it is. Thank you, guys. I've said enough. Okay. All right. We got to go all the way back to Tucker Carlson to address these super chats. Getter9. And let me say this. Thank you all for your patience. Because, when I get on these tirades, I'd like to get it all out before I jump off the topic. So thank you for everyone who sent these super chats like an hour ago. Getter9 said, DeJoy did it. He's a double agent who stole Tucker Carlson's package. Oh, man. Tucker's so stupid, bruh. Bruh, come on, man. Tron of J subscribed on Twitch with Prime. Thank you, Tron. Redeemed in the aftermath, said, he said, they sent a picture to the shipping company to help them look. Then tell us the story, man. Like, if you confirmed it already, tell us the goddamn story instead of making up this. Thank you for that. The Uper Gardner said, there's so many plot holes in Tucker's BS. Absolutely. In the aftermath he said they sent the shipping company to a picture of the content to help them look for it. DJ Addy said, we need Jon Stewart to come back out of retirement and have a Crossfire Part 2. Pauline Hedron on Twitch said, dog ate my homework. My dog pulled a person hit by a car out of the street and we used the paper to staunch the bleeding. He's such a good dog. Sorry about the assignment. Jake VX1K on YouTube said, Ben, what's the best way to support you? Your coverage deserves so much more views. Time. That's it. Just stick with me, man. Just stick with me. My producer produced with me. He's been with me for 6 years now. And the only real break I took was when I left Boston and went to Atlanta and was trying to start businesses to do this media company. That's the only real downtime I had. Other than that, I'm consistent, not as a clock, because I'll start the stream at disparate times. But I'm consistent in this fight. And I'm going to always be consistent in this fight. So the best way to support me is to just stick with me. If you agree with what I'm saying, like if you ever disagree with me, go ahead and do what you got to do. Tell people about it. That's totally fine. But just stick it out. We're going to be fine. And plus the content is already there, right? People can always go back and watch the old videos. Sharon Middleton said most of older Trumps on YouTube with the super chat said most older Trumpers don't own computers. So yeah, I could see how they would believe that horse hockey. Facts. Our retro Pathak on YouTube says Sleepy Joe win is a social justice warrior dream. See what I did there? No, but I know you spent $2 to do it. So thank you for the $2. I'm going to use it to build communism. Brad C said, looking classy as hell tonight with that scotch in the hand. Much love as always, my brother. Appreciate you, Brad. Try to upgrade, Let me upgrade you. Upgrade you. Mountain of Despair says, as a former warehouse worker, we never had time to read. Just scan and drop. There it is. That backs up our side of the story even more. Nobody in a just move. Yeah, come on. Foolishness. Y. Stevenson 001. Thank you for gifting the tier 1 sub. Thank you. And sending 5 emotes. I appreciate it. Zen Girl. Thank you for the super chat saying I'm a treasure. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's funny. Well, yeah. Don't let anybody steal your confidence. I know I'm talented at this, but there have been some lows in me doing this because sometimes people gaslight you into not believing that, at least they try to. Motherfucker try to gaslight me into thinking I am not damn near the best at what I do. But I'm also humble. And I also like to admit that there's a lot that I still need to learn and grow and evolve. Okay. A guy from chat said, when you backpedal so hard, you break the bike and your legs. And this is the funny thing. I think you're still talking about Tucker. The thing is, it's not even necessary. Like, the best way to back off of a story that didn't manifest is to say, hey, folks, that story didn't manifest. We'll get it again on the next go round. Sambo said, hey, Ben, thoughts on the 2 Senate races in Georgia? Yeah, I know those races well. Raphael Warnock is in a jungle primary with so many Democrats that I don't know if he's going to win that one. But he could have and should have, and we'll see. That's against Kelly Loeffler. And then there is the John Ossoff race against David Perdue. John Ossoff was a prolific fundraiser, so he has enough money, and we'll see. But if he doesn't win this time, sit your ass down, Mr. Postman, and let somebody else win. Just Me sent in a super chat saying Tucker is trying to deliver that October surprise so Trump will love him more. This is true, and it's sad. Electric Head 3 subscribed on Twitch with Prime. Thank you. Snuggles cheered with 6 bits. Morpholins cheered with 100 bits. Snuggles cheered with 5 more bits. Riku cheered with 5 bits. Fairy Girl cheered with 100 bits. Thank you so much. Paul Longerbean on YouTube said, Ben, how do I as a white guy best support Black Lives Matter? I don't want to wear anything with that on it because it feels like I'm trying to lend white legitimacy to a black cause. Man, my answer really is to just do you, man. If you feel like wearing the shirt, like, don't overthink it. Just do you. Just actively learn as much as you can, but don't overthink it. I think good intentions and cognizantly not overdoing it is the best combination. Because good intentions with overdoing it is just a mess. It's a shit show. So don't overdo it. Just take your good intentions and vibe. Just chill. That's the best thing I could tell you. Narco, ASA. We're on the Kim Kardashian story now. They said they were all taken to a private island for a birthday celebration. Everyone was tested, etc. before going. Nice, right? Yeah, must be nice in terms of class, but also that private island was served by A whole lot of essential workers. DeJuan, Two Fly, subscribe with Prime. Appreciate that, DeJuan. Trina Photo, cheered with 20 bits. Thank you so much. Quick Wolf on YouTube sent in £5 saying, do you think celebrities like Kim flaunt the straight up elitist mindset and lifestyle through their own manufactured consent? Let me read that again. I think you're hitting at something here, and I'm not quite getting it, Quint. So if you're still in the chat room, because I know that was about an hour ago, if you would leave a follow-up comment, and I'm asked the producer that's on YouTube if you would grab it and highlight it for me. Give me a follow-up comment and make sure I understand what you're asking here, because I think you're getting at something. I'm just not 100% sure. C Madrid 30, subscribe with Prime. Comrade Vitaco or Vitaco, subscribe at tier 1. Thank you so much. Comrade Vitaco said, I'm 39 and I want to build a family, but I don't have the time or money, resources. With a sad face. Resources. If you could get one of those three, because I'm not going to tell you to get into, I'm not going to tell you to get into no relationship, because it took me and my wife 10 years in a pandemic to figure out how to be married. And it was mostly on me figuring out how to stay my ass at home. She had to work on whatever she worked on. She'll tell you if she so chooses. So I'm not going to tell you to get into nothing if you don't have time, money, or resources. But what I will tell you is that if you find that you have one, you got to carve out. You don't let the system take everything. I don't know if you're going to find the right person, right? I don't know if you're going to build a family. That might not be in the cards for you. But one thing I can tell you is don't let this motherfucking system take everything. Fight for something. I'm not telling you to stop your consumption to save money in the sense that you're going to be able to save up enough money to break free. No, I'm telling you, I'm also saying that if you can't do it by yourself because the forces of this system are so powerful, then it is up to us privileged motherfuckers like myself who has been able and afforded to snatch away my time and to snatch away my resources to fight on behalf of everyone else so that everyone else can get a damn chance to breathe. Because honestly, I don't like sitting in my backyard because everybody can't sit in the damn backyard. And so as I sit in the backyard with my kids, half of my brain, 100% of me is enjoying my time with my kids. But 100% of me is also trying to figure out how do we fix this broken ass system so that everybody can have these same luxuries that I have. So I don't know that I have an answer for you, except for the fact that we're going to be fighting so that you don't have to give this system everything. AK the Scholar said, I really like the personal perspectives life advice. It's been really useful. Michael Brooks advocated for the left having such self-help, transformational narratives. Also, can you check your DMs on Twitter? Hey, babe, you come over and join the show? AK the Scholar, yeah, did you? I will, but the best way at this juncture is probably to hit up one of the producers in the chat because my DMs are atrocious. I actually had to get help going through my DMs, just to let you know. Infinite Content said, Jake, we got to have an online poker tournament to raise funds for food banks. One half to the food bank and other half to prize pool. I'll do it and I'll set it up, but I want to do 75% to the food bank. I don't know. Half might be good enough. Let me stop flexing. Let me stop acting like I'm all noble. I ain't that noble, man, because I want to beat y'all across the head with some poker. All right. But I think it's a great idea. I think we can raise some money for a mutual aid organization. So drop your name like Infinite Content. Y'all connect and find people who want to do it. And we'll do an online poker tournament. And 50% of it goes to mutual aid organizations. Laura Shin, I'm not reading that comment. I'm not reading that. I don't receive that energy. No. I understand the love and the concern. But I ain't reading that shit on the air. Certain things I don't let come out of my mouth. But thank you for the super chat and thank you for the concern. But we're going to be all right. Gail Hafner said, I get it. We don't matter other than $1 to the system. It came to me when they wanted to open back up on Labor Day. I think it came to me, Gail, when I saw a grandmother working at Walmart on Thanksgiving Day. And then I looked at myself and said, self, she's working on Thanksgiving Day because I'm here shopping on Thanksgiving Day. So it wasn't just frustration with the system. It was frustration with my participation in this system. And they don't give a damn about us, except the dollar. Okay, great, Quint. All right, so the elitist might, okay. Oh, wow, he said quite a few updates. Thank you for all the extra super chats. I definitely appreciate it. I was thinking you would just send a regular message. Sorry. Is the original up there? Okay, so let me read all of them in succession. Quint Wolf. He said, do you think celebrities like Kim flaunt the straight up elitist mindset and lifestyle through their own manufactured consent? Those things are inherently for the minority. Manufacturing consent through coercion is a way for everyone else. Interesting. The elitist minority in power is terrified of the majority knowing that it's us, not them, that know what our best interests are. So they constantly try to manufacture our consent for their interests. We, including a lot of the rich, have our consent to believe in the system manufactured from a young age. I felt like you were getting at something dope. And you're damn right you got at something dope. So let me go back to your original comment. Do you think celebrities like Kim flaunt the straight up elitist mindset and lifestyle through their own manufactured consent? In other words, is Kim Kardashian participating in the elitist implementation of manufacturing consent amongst all of us? Yes. And she gets paid quite lovely for it. That's her way of making her living. Snapchat culture, celebrity culture, is quite literally how you get people who are never going to be billionaires or probably never be millionaires in their life to commit to a dogmatic, religious-like zealotry around that lifestyle. And that's how you get somebody who's probably only worth negative $10,000, $25,000 because of student loans, but they're working, making $30 an hour. Let's give them $50 an hour. They're making $50 an hour, so they think that they're balling, and so they go out, and at the end of the month, they got nothing because they had to pop them bottles and take those pictures for Snapchat and had to, rent out that crew, that yacht, and, had to pop the bubbles on the yacht. And I'm not knocking them because obviously I've lived that life. But at some juncture, if we don't identify the role that plays in our lives, then we just continue replicating the same shit for another generation. And some people are paid really well to be the idol that everyone looks up to and everybody wants. And it's not really even Kim Kardashian. It was Kylie Jenner. Huh. She's the queen of manufactured consent. Getter9 said, Ben, I think another thing we have to change is we have to realize that we are kinder than the system assumes we are. Yes, but yes, and I want to elaborate on what you're saying here. How many people still here? I'm always curious how many people hang out. God, we still got 1,218 people at this hour and 39-minute mark. Yes, because it's important because I think we buy into the idea that the system tells us that we are all inherently greedy and that we are all self-serving, and that if we ever give in and if we're ever kind, then we'll be taken advantage of. And so we preemptively behave in a certain fashion because we have an expectation that the other person wants to treat us the same way the system tells us we will be treated. It's kind of like an arms race. If you read the history of the Peloponnesian War, one of the main reasons that ancient war happened was because behind the walls of the cities, there was an escalation that became the precursor to what we know today as an arms race. In modern times, you can see it in the Cold War, where I'm going the long way around, but I think it makes a point. It really shows you that because one person or one nation acts a certain way, we're escalating. And then once they see us escalating, they escalate. And then we escalate. We get more arms. They get more arms. And it's a constant escalation to the point of conflict. Well, in a very similar fashion, we are bred to believe the lie that we are all just inherently going to rob the other person. I mean, it's in all the literature. I mean, you go back to the history of the English Civil War, I believe it was Thomas Hobbes. And he basically said that he was like, the state of nature, the state of humanity is a state of war, state of nature. We're always at odds with each other. That's one model. But I think that that's just the introduction. I think that is part of our nature. But what my friend said is that we have another nature, that we have the capacity to be kind as an act of rational thinking. See, the Hobbesian, and I'm pretty sure it's Thomas Hobbes. I'm a little rusty on my international relations theory. But the Hobbesian worldview was that the only way you can have peace is if there's an overarching Leviathan, like this governing power, a government that everyone could be fearful of. And they want us to believe that the only way people are going to not be evil towards one another is if there is a dominating authority over us to which all of us can be beholden. That's not particularly untrue, but what they forgot is that we also have the capacity to make a rational decision that it is in our best interest to be kind. Okay, now that said, enter in Karl Popper and the intolerance paradox, and also enter Ben Dixon and my philosophy. When you can be kind, this is my personal philosophy. I think I came up with it. I don't know. Somebody probably wrote about that shit 300-400 years ago. But here's my personal philosophy. When you can be kind, be kind. When you can't, take no prisoners. I think we have to show simultaneously the capacity to be kind and the capacity to be ruthless for the sake of getting back to being kind. The reason I don't mind labeling myself as a Disney dad is because I need people to understand that I will fight. I will murk everybody in the room. I will wipe out. There's nothing I won't do to protect my tribe, my cubs, my family, my unit. I want to be kind. We have the capacity collectively to be kind, where we don't have to have the constant threat of an overarching authoritarian power to be the control of us, right? So in that regard, I agree with you. We have the capacity, we are kind. But we also need to let these motherfuckers know that if necessary, we can be as ruthless for good as they are for evil. Sharon Middleton said in 1976, we were about collective movement. Yep. We all had solar roofs, good union jobs with decent wage. Ronnie Reagan tore all of that apart. I don't think I have anything to add to that, except to just kind of underscore the fact that we were on the trajectory of progress in this country, and the conservative movement has been shooting that shit down consistently for 40 years. They've been planning it for 60 years, but they've been actively implementing it for they've been planning it since the New Deal. So they've been planning it since the 1940s, and they're now getting to the apex of the arc of conservatism with Amy Coney Barrett, and she's going to strike and try to undermine all that shit, all the progress of the 20th century. So I do want to just take a second here to remind everybody that in all the lofty idealism that I talk about in this show, and a lot of stuff that people can dismiss as, navel gazing, the first actual, factual, tangible step to a progressive future is right now through next Tuesday to make sure that we vote this bastard out of office, because we cannot move towards a progressive future if this man gets 4 more years. We have to get rid of him so that we can begin to undo the entirety of the conservative agenda over the last 80 years. John Venn Diagrams of Desire gave a gift sub. Thank you for that. A guy from chat said, COVID is giving people a glimpse of clarity behind the curtain, and there's going to be a reckoning post-COVID that the elite class is going to dread if they are allowed to exist. They better let us tax the rich before we eat them. Cyril said, love and respect your work, brother. Thanks for what you do, from Queensland, Australia. Thank you. Brad Niece says, there are some things that benefit from a market system like entertainment if we run democratically, but most of what we make should be centrally planned. What is the guy who wrote the book on the entertainment system? Because I referenced him tonight in his name, Marcuse. Is it Marcuse? It escapes me. U.S. workers changed the economy, or us workers changed the economy, and they are mad. This is a wake-up call for us to focus on ourselves, community, and our families. Thank you, BPD. That is from Prime 038. Amanda Rutherford, thank you for the super chat. She retracted the message, but thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the love. Madison Griffith said, your picture gives me hope in my isolation. I'm just painting. It's funny. Picture is worth 1,000 words, but for me to paint a picture with my words, I need 1,000 words. I'm such an idiot. Leanne Purcell said, people are organizing on Telegram, states, cities. Hey, make sure I don't miss anything. You know what? And Leanne, I like for sure not being a part of that. Because a movement in 2020 needs to have silos, but work in sync. And what's beautiful about the movement now is so democratized that it's not necessary for me to be inside of the organizing and planning of anything that's being planned. But because we're all fighting for the truth, we don't have to coordinate with each other. The people who know how to organize are organizing around the same principles that I'm talking about, and we haven't compared notes once. And that protects the movement. I can't emphasize enough that those ostensible silos, they're not really silos, because we're moving in lockstep based on what's true. But the fact that I don't know what's going on Telegram is a benefit to the people organizing on Telegram. And the more democratized this movement is, the better. And the more it survives. You cut off one head, and another one raises up right in its place. Andy from Ohio on Twitch said, I love when you get on I'm preaching tonight level. It brings me a level of personal peace that I didn't know I needed. Well, you know what? I didn't expect that second half, but thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot. Comrade V Taco said, I work with capitalists because I can't allow myself to be houseless again. And they want to squeeze every damn penny out of workers. Right. We're in this system. We have to work this system. But wherever we can find opportunities, and this is, I think it was Marcuse. He said, wherever we can find opportunities to break free from the system, we break free from the system. And if COVID-19 was not a wake-up call to say, oh, out of necessity, we got to break free from this system. Lil Moni said, love you, Benjamin Dixon. Keep up the good work. I'm doing the best I can, and I appreciate it. Comedian Viet cheered. Thank you for the cheer. Kalila 16, thank you for the super chat. Jacob said, capitalistic individualism. Don't work towards self-actualization. You can't consume self-actualization. But this burger, though, this Instagram filter, though, these new jeans, though, this new car that's being sold to you by this sexy ass model, though, you're not going to get the car, you're not going to get the model, but you'll go get a version that's going to drain all your money, though. You're absolutely right, my friend. B. Michelle, Herbert Marcuse. Thank you. I could not think of his first name at all. And he really outlined the dilemma of being trapped in a system. But the need, our requirements, like we can't opt out completely. Like we're in a system. We can't opt out completely from that system, but at every opportunity that we see to refuse to participate in that system, the collective sum total of those little pieces will bring about a revolution. Thank you. B. Michelle, thank you for the super chat saying great content. Consuela Moore said, Benjamin, I grew up in Broward County, Florida. All I want in my life is to have a balance is the key of happiness in my book. Shout out to Broward County 954. I went to high school down at Ely High School, Pompano Beach, Florida. I was the drum major in the marching band. My little short ass, my little 5'7" ass was out there high stepping, dancing, doing splits, throwing back the head and marching. Broward County is a great place to grow up. But at some point, you got to get out of that party city because good God Almighty. Balance is the key to happiness. I agree. Narco ASA says, you are so right. I said the universe is resetting itself. I'm asking myself now, is this thing a need or a want? I've been clearing things out and it's been, like the weirdest thing is never, ever, ever having enough money at the end of the month to be able to get something. And then finally, when you have, because you haven't been participating, you're like the first month, I had like $400 left over at the end of the month because we didn't waste it on gas. And then realizing I had this little bit of money left and I was like, actually, I'm good. I don't want to spend it on anything that they're telling me to spend it on. Like, I've really stripped my desires down. Like, what do I want? What do I need? Like, I know what I need, but do I really need it? Or do I want it? And I've just been throwing those things away. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. If y'all will let me, man, I would come on this show with a t-shirt, all right, and a hoodie every damn night. I don't even want to dress. But like, if Marcus is still in the audience, Marcus be dressing so fly. I don't know if it's a want to dress nice. Now I got to dress nice because I'm just sitting up next to that nigga every single morning. But I'm just saying, it's like, I don't know. The best feeling in the world is to not really want a lot. You know? To not have everything like, oh, I got to get this, I got to get that. I've lived that life and I'm just free, man. I'm free and I want to stay free. I want to stay free. And I say that because it's just so easy to get thrown right back into that system. Misty Bauer said, hello from Dragon Squad. What up, Dragon Squad? Have you seen the epic rap battle history between Trump and Biden? I feel after sadness and frustration of the times we need humor. It's funny. Thought I'd share. I am actually going to watch it as soon as this stream is over. Don't nobody leave until the stream is over. Then you go watch it yourself. Little Moni said, I don't think I'll ever get over this. Little Moni said, I hated my grandma for a time, telling me abortion was not okay, but I got pregnant, not married. Lil Moni, we come from the, I knew exactly how to read that. She wanted me to get rid of my baby. I lost faith in. Sending you love. Sending you love. Black Corvo said, yo, I'll tell you what I want. What I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. Black Corvo again said, don't worry what people say. We all know the truth. All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. Enough is enough of this garbage. Michael Jackson, they don't really care about us. Black Corvo said, the songs I've quoted are both examples of red herrings and how the system sells us anti-system sentiment to make us feel as if we're going against it. Don't delete that man's comments. I want to go right back. I want to read them again. I want to start with the last one and work up. He said, the songs I'm getting ready to quote are examples of red herrings and how the system sells us anti-system sentiment to make us feel as if we're going against the system, when in actuality, it is pulling us right along with the system. I think that's my voice saying it's about time to call it a night. Yo, I tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. And then he said, don't worry what people say. We all know the truth. All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. Enough is enough of this garbage. And that's perfectly right. Aegis Epoch, thanks for the super set, just said, Dixon. I feel like we know each other because people who really know me, when they see me, they be like, Dixon. Nepti Bariqua, hey, always glad to see your comments. Wisdom is what intelligence can only aspire to be. The Diabetics 86 said, we need to stop thinking of people as good or evil. Human nature isn't either. It's dynamically hypocritical. That's why we can all say how much we care about the planet and humanity while knowing that we let it burn for the people we care about the most. That's dope. I don't disagree, because I do know we have the capacity to be both good and evil, kind and brutal, truthful and liars. Dragon Squad from Chuck Diesel said, that's because you are a good dude, Brother Ben. Thank you. I do the best that I can. I don't always get it right, but I'm getting better as I get older. The First Love Smokers and Barbecue said, I'm always kind, so when I become unkind, you know that is when you effed up. Not me. Country Cross Stitcher said, this morning I saw the Australian Progressive share one of your July Facebook posts, so I know they're on the right path. That's love. That's love. I appreciate that. Quint Wolf said, elites living out the good life. The irony is the spectacle is pointed at us as the only way to have it. It's our exploitation that allows for it. Quint, you are on it. You are on it tonight. Let me just make sure, because some of these are overlapping. I want to make sure I get them all. Misty Bowers said, quote, when we discovered life on another planet, she was a woman and she built a bridge, not a border. Denise Froman from She Inspires Me. 245 kids lost and women with collective uteruses needed the bridge. Will says, I work in video games. We get crunched and paid little. No one is interested in organizing because they love Elon Musk, Silicon Valley, etc. Bro, Will, that's why we have to seize the future. And what I mean by that is that those of us who are fighting for the collective good absolutely must seize the narrative of futurism from charlatans like folks at Silicon Valley. Let me just leave it at there. People in Silicon Valley. In the dark, thank you for the super sticker. Oh, Nepti Barika says they went to Northeast High School in Pompano Beach. Love it. Torches and Pitchforks. Hey, man, it was good to see you this time of night and first thing in the morning. Too much month at the end of the money. Literally prepping online right now, Ben. Too much month at the end of the money. Here's your friendly reminder, courtesy of the producers being as much concerned about your civic duty as they are concerned about this programming. To remind everyone to drop off your ballots. Do not mail any more or they risk SCOTUS not counting them. There are 5 days left. It is easier for you to just go and find a secure drop box to drop it off like I did and just spray your hands when you're done like I did and you'll be fine. Andy from Ohio said, come on in a t-shirt and a hoodie, Ben. Okay, tomorrow night I am. Nathan Barrico said, if you think the economy is more important than the environment, try holding your breath while counting your money. Damn. Jeff Wardoff, who I owe like 2-3 months of patronage. Go check out Jeff's Nation on Patreon because I was supposed to become a patron a couple months ago and some excuse came up and I didn't do it, but I'm going to do it. Thank you for the cheers. As a matter of fact, as I come to the end of these comments, I want to see who we're raiding tonight. So let me know who we're going to raid and when we're going to get that in. Lonely Soul says, we as progressives have to work together. TYT, David Packman, Majority Report, all need to get together and vote together. Agreed. But can I tell you a secret though? In this order, this is the order of the progressives. All three of the people that you mentioned have helped me. David Packman was the first to reach out to me and help me. And still to this day has been a true friend and one of the most genuine people I've ever worked with. The Majority Report was next through Michael Brooks. Rest in peace, Michael. Michael took me under his wings and brought me on the Majority Report like once a month. And then after a while, Sam saw that I had some chops and some skills. And then Sam snatched me away from Michael and then started bringing me on once a month. And so I love those guys over there. And then TYT over the pandemic, really, they saw my work and they invited me on. And they've just been helping out ever since. So to that extent, they have all helped me. And tonight before I came on, I helped TYT. I jumped in there and they needed somebody to host an interview. And whenever they ask me, I'm more than happy to, because it's just reciprocal. Like it's just, I think every single one of us do this for the love of the work and for the love of the people. And in this independent media space, the characters that you see, like Kyle is a good dude. He and I disagree sometimes, but he's a really good dude. Kyle Kalinske from Secular Talk. Tim Black, good dude. Good dude. Mike, I can't pronounce Mike's figure. Mike at the Humanist Report. Yeah, I know I can't pronounce no last names. Great dude. John Iodorola. I'm surprised I said that name right. Dragon Squad. Amazing guy. Really good dude. Jeff Waldorf. I can never pronounce his last name. Honestly, genuine people. And we all do reciprocate that kind of love and support. So, Leanne Purcell says, no, if anyone would like to info on rallies or protests and discussion groups in your local area, there's a group of people on an app. It's anonymous. Yes. So thank you for the follow-up. I'd like to not be involved in it because I like to not be involved in it. But everybody else, if you're looking to organize, go over to YouTube, talk to Leanne, and there are people. Listen, let me put it like this, and this is what Leanne is saying. When these protests, and you look up and there's 10,000 people in the streets, it is never because one of us podcasters and YouTubers. It is always, because people have been organizing behind the scenes on a constant, regular basis. So shout out to the organizers. Shout out to y'all. Torches and Pitchforks sent in more reparations, saying Walter Wallace's Kids presser. Go watch it. Powerful as it gets. Kids are radical, and I love it. Okay, will. And Jeff sent in more bits. I lost my place. I mean, I know Jeff Waldorf's name, but there's some other ones under there. Thank you so much, Jeff. Chuck Diesel said, Brother Ben, I come as a Dragon Squad mercenary. Now I wake up every morning in anticipation of that Trap Squad energy. Love y'all. Trap Dragon. Hashtag Trap Dragon. Misty Bauer sent in yet another super chat. Thank you so much, saying I voted. Do you think that if Biden wins, he will be brave enough to prosecute Trump for all the laws he's broken? And that is the end of the list. No, I don't think Biden is going to be bold enough to prosecute Trump. But I'm not going to be upset about it. I know the role that Biden is facilitating, and the role that he's facilitating for me is to stop a fascist from enshrining his power as an authoritarian. He's there to stop Trump. And then it's going to be up to us moving forward to do all of the things that need to be done. Folks, we are at 2 hours. Ha. Thank you all so much. Did we do the... Did we do the raid yet? Let me check my producer's chat before I go too far. Okay, I'm just reading everything. Not bad. I'm up to date. I think I'm up to date. Okay, we need a couple seconds for the super chat. That's it for tonight, folks. If you want to start logging off, tell everybody, show somebody a kindness in the chat room. Show somebody a kindness. Be kind when you can be kind. Somebody is literally in this community right now because this is their tribe, and they haven't had anybody to tell them hello, or good night, or how are you, or I miss you. So show a kindness while we wait to do this this raid on Twitch. Show somebody a kindness. I'm going to the chat room on YouTube because my chats have all frozen up. Oh, wow. You guys are cutting the fool on YouTube. Wow. I just kind of think I could do more good outside of politics. Outside of running for office. So I'm really hoping that the pressure I'm getting ready to put on my congressmen, that they are already ready for that fight and I could just hold them to it. And the reason I say that is because we need communities like this on a massive scale that doesn't have to worry about the constraints of politics, political correctness. Torches and Pitchforks with the last super chat saying, join us in the morning for Trap Squad tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, look at all that love. All that love being shown. All right, let me check the producer chat. Is it done? We're going to Max Beats. Y'all send some love over to Max Beats when you get over there. Love and light to all. Lisa, thank you for that. Done. And done. Now I'm about to go watch Lucifer as I fall asleep. Lucifer is the TV show. Good night, everybody.